watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Welcome to your Wednesday, everyone. 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Irampour. And now let's get you your forecast here this morning. Meteorologist Evan Irani showing us that things are changing out there.
Yeah, we're trading the fog that we had yesterday for wind today and cooler temperatures, too. So some big changes are going to be notable for Wednesday. But as we head toward the rest of the week, Thursday, Friday, we've got a little bit of a warming trend to watch for. And then another cooling trend by the weekend. Roller coaster ride of temperatures that we'll be watching for. This afternoon, we're down to 70 out by the coastline, 74 inland, about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday. Plenty of sunshine by the afternoon, but have a fair amount of cloud cover to start off the day. We'll go into more detail on that warm up that we could see over the next couple days coming up in just a bit. But Vanessa Paz has a check of traffic as we kick off our Wednesday, too. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Halfway through the week, and I'll tell you what, we have really nice drives to get you through the second half of the week. We're not looking at any major delays, nor slowing, nor crashes. Looks like 805 in the 5 coming in from the South Bay. You're at average speeds anywhere between 60 and 70 miles per hour. So we're bunched up as you make your way towards the island from Coronado, or from Barrio Logan, I should say. But that's due to construction, and it typically wraps up later in the 6 o'clock hour into the 7 a.m. So as of right now, we're crawling. So if you're just tuning in and you're headed onto the island, I would leave time for travel, pack your patience. Driving there. 67, 70 mile per hour speeds, meanwhile, coming in from the North County this morning. And if you're traveling in from the East County, no major issues nor delays coming in from Santee, or if you're traveling out of the La Mesa and Grossmont area. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. Now this morning, San Diegans will get a chance to weigh in on a new proposal from the city.
It's called Vacation Home Operation Tax, and it could generate millions of dollars annually for the city. CBS 8's Regina Guerrita live downtown to explain how this measure works and why voters will have the final say on this.
Correct. Good morning, guys. And San Diegans will have the opportunity to weigh in on this vacation home operation tax that could generate the city between $100 million to $130 million annually. That's according to Council Member Sean Elo Rivera, who has framed this proposal as an affordability housing measure. Now, the tax would apply to more than 10,000 homes in San Diego that are currently either short-term vacation rentals or vacant second homes. A preliminary proposal would charge $5,000 annually per bedroom, and the revenue from the tax would be directed to the city's general fund, including parks, libraries, and public safety. Elo Rivera emphasized that property owners who rent their second homes on a long-term basis would be exempt from the tax. However, there are opponents who argue that the tax could harm working class property owners and the local tourism industry. So first you're going to hear from Sean Elo Rivera and then opponents of this measure.
We have a responsibility as leaders in the city. Before we ask San Diego residents to pay more, we ask the visitors, the investors, the profiteers who are making so much money here, who are enjoying their time here, to pay their fair share first. And this tax does that.
If this ends up getting passed, it's going to hurt the working day folks like myself.
And so the city's Rules Committee will be taking on this proposal this morning at 9 a.m. They will be introducing this along with Councilmember Sean Elo Rivera, who has unveiled this proposal, and we'll learn more about this measure. For now, I'm Regina Urita, CBS 8.
The government shutdown now raising concerns for some California residents who rely on CalFresh food benefits.
State officials warn that funds could soon run out. CBS 8's Chris Crow live in Kearny Mason now with reaction and what a local nonprofit is doing to help families today. Chris.
Yeah, good morning. We're here at Jewish Family Service, and of course they have been running their food drives on Wednesdays, trying to make sure that people are aware that there are services for those who have been impacted by the government shutdown. But we could see even more people impacted by the government shutdown, and that's because of the impact that this is having on CalFresh, SNAP benefits, and so forth. And so what we are hearing from the county right now is that the federal government shutdown, that payments that have been made from the government to those, again, organizations, CalFresh, that money that comes in, that October, while that has been taken care of, that November remains the month in jeopardy here, that this may be the first time where we may see that some of these benefits may not be made and paid out locally. The county started notifying CalFresh recipients yesterday that if the government shutdown does not end by October 23rd, which of course is tomorrow, then we could see that November payments may not be made. And this is all because of, again, the government shutdown. As for the numbers that we are seeing, according to the county, about 395,000 individuals and nearly 240,000 households receive CalFresh benefits. Feeding San Diego had an even bigger number, and they reacted online, expressing concern from some of their constituents and those who, again, access these food services. But there are still a number of organizations that are trying to step in where they can. Again, I told you about Jewish Family Service, where we are today. Here's the information about their Wednesday food drives, which have been going on since this government shutdown began at the beginning of this month. Pre-registration is not required. And of course, for more on where we stand on the government shutdown, you can always go to CBS8.com and right here on CBS 8 and CBS 8 Plus. Eric and Netta.
Okay, Chris, thank you for that. This morning, the community is remembering a beloved donut shop owner in Santee.
Mary's Donuts says that their founder, Mary Hennessy, has died. They say she poured her heart into the shop and the community for 40 years, adding, quote, her kindness, laughter, and dedication made Mary's Donuts more than just a place to get donuts. It became a part of people's daily lives. The business says they will remain open 24/7 to honor Mary's memory.
Oh, go get donuts today if you can.
Celebrate her.
Look at her big smile. Wow, what an impact she had for so long.
And those donuts look delicious.
Yes.
Right.
So go help them out in Santee.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a great day to grab a donut. Start to the morning out there very mild, mostly 50s, couple low 60s to start off our day. We also have a fair amount of cloud cover, and that's also kind of helped with keeping our overnight lows a bit more manageable. You notice those clouds extending from the coastline through our inland valleys, even some green popping up there along our mountains and deserts. We'll be watching this afternoon for a wind advisory to take effect. It is from noon to midnight that it'll be in effect, with west winds from 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusts up to 50 miles per hour. While this wind advisory is only in play for our local deserts, countywide we'll notice that uptick in wind. So we'll watch for wind gusts around 20 miles per hour along the coast and inland going into this afternoon. All of that wind will die down by tomorrow. This is all as we start to see that transition from a ridge of high pressure to a trough of low pressure. Temperatures out the door right now, like I mentioned, those clouds helping out a bit. 57 in Fallbrook and Escondido, 54 in Ramona, 58 in Encinitas, and 60 down in Chula Vista. Our mountains aren't struggling too much either. 50 degrees right now in Julian. These are a lot of spots where temperatures were down to the 40s for late last week into the weekend. So overnight lows were quite cool. Afternoon highs, they were warm, right? The weekend brought us a tremendous warm up. And then since then, since about Monday, we've watched as those temperatures have started to slide. Live look outside at Otay Mountain facing west. You noticed an abundance of clouds out there. Sunrise not coming our way for another 50 minutes. 6:58 is that sunrise. Sunset coming at 6:07. Let's take a look at those highs for today. Santee and El Cajon looking at a high of 75 degrees, 71 for La Mesa. Down in Imperial Beach, upper 60s. So a lot more 60s out by the coast than 70s, and a lot more 70s inland than 80s that we saw last week. So about a 5 to 10 degree temperature cool down just from yesterday. Look at Vista, Fallbrook, San Marcos, RB, 71 this afternoon as that high. Our mountains are shooting for the 60s, with Mount Laguna only expected to hit 60 degrees this afternoon, 62 in Julian. I'll send things over to Vanessa Paz, checking in on traffic again as we start off our Wednesday.
Hey, Evan. So it looks like everything's smooth sailing across our freeways. Always happy to report that. Drivers are behaving behind the wheel. We're looking overall in the green, and green is always good. That means we're at full freeway speeds. 65 to 70 if you're coming in from Escondido. In Oceanside, if you're traveling in from Santee or the La Mesa Grossmont area, average speeds anywhere between 65, 70 miles per hour. And same deal coming out of Chula Vista National City. The only slowing that I'm tracking is across the Coronado Bridge. So if you're making your way onto the island, leave time for travel, especially if, let's say, you got to get somewhere on time, maybe to attend a meeting. Right now, we're down to about 10 mile per hour speeds. And as we pull up the travel times, it's our slowest drive in the region. So 15 minutes right now to get you across the bridge. This is typically a 3-minute drive. So we're looking at a 10-minute increase. Meanwhile, still on the green on the 5 and the 805. That's the good news overall in the South Bay. If you're coming in from the East County, anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes to get you westbound, both on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52. And here's what it looks like if you're traveling southbound in from the North County. Encinitas us down to the top of the Golden Triangle, about 25 minutes or so, under 15 traveling in from Escondido down to that 163 merge. Full span of the 78 from the 15 all the way towards the 5 will take you about 15 minutes, and average speeds for everyone, again, 65, 70 miles per hour or so. All right, 6:10 is the time. Let's go ahead and take a look at your border wait times and see what we're tackling. Over 2 hours to get you in from San Ysidro's port of entry. If you're traveling in from Otay Mesa, not much better. In fact, about 2 hours there as well as you cross the border in from Otay Mesa at last check.